Imagine being in a stadium with tens of thousands of other people your age, 20 or 30, maybe even 40,000. Imagine gathering together there and you all have the same interests. You all are at the same point in your life. You're all gathered around one thing that brought you all together, except that one thing isn't a favorite sports team. That one thing isn't a musician performing or any other sort of special event or movie or famous person. That thing that brings you together there with all of those tens of thousands of other people is God. That, in a nutshell, is what the ELCA Youth Gathering is. Every 3 years, the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, the denomination that we are part of at Mount Calvary Lutheran Church, hosts the National Youth Gathering, the ELCA Youth Gathering. And it is this event to bring together kids from churches all over the country. And like I said, it often has close to 30,000 people participating. Each night during the week, the event takes over a stadium and gathers together for Bible study being led from the stage, for music from a house band, but also nationally touring and famous Christian musicians, speakers who represent a variety of different faith perspectives and social justice issues and things like that. And really, it is the coolest thing in the world to be sitting in a stadium and look around and see that you are part of something so much bigger than yourself when you come to church. But that's not all the youth gathering is. That's just the evenings during the week. During the day, the event takes place in a convention center. And there's all sorts of activities that you can check out. Fun things like games and zip lines and bounce houses, things that are a bit more involved, that are sort of experiential learning. There are workshops and Bible studies that you can pick to go to, or you can just go around in this safe space and meet other kids from other churches across the country and see all that you have in common. Also part of it is some community service in the host city and some time together with the youth who are coming from other congregations in the Allegheny Synod. Those other 100 or so congregations between here and State College that we share a bishop with and share things like snow camp and Confer camp and all sorts of different youth activities with here locally. The first time I heard of the National Youth Gathering was when I was 15 years old. My dad actually heard about it from one of his best friends who was a Lutheran pastor at a church in another town. And my dad thought it was pretty cool. He got me sold on it pretty quickly, and we tried to get a group together from the church that we went to, but no one was particularly interested. So we ended up actually jumping on and joining with the group going from my dad's friend, the church where he was a pastor. And I was able to go with a group of about a dozen kids, and that youth gathering was in San Antonio. And at that time, they actually did 2 separate weeks of youth gatherings because they hadn't figured out how to make it a big event quite yet. So we were there with only about 10 or 15,000 people. So in 2009, the National Youth Gathering was in New Orleans. And at that point, I had my first year of college. I was too old to go with a youth group, so I actually went and I volunteered with the ELCA, and I was event staff for the event. I spent the day in the convention center helping out with pedal-powered bumper cars, and then in the evening, all of us got sent over to the stadium, and we helped working safety and security for the stadium events. Those two youth gatherings that I went to in 2006 and 2009 really were a big part of building my faith, helping me to see that even though I went to a church where there were only a couple kids my age, that there were thousands of kids my age across the country who believed in God, who had faith, who were interested in this whole church thing. It was also the beginning of how I started thinking that I might want to be a pastor. There was actually, when I went in high school, a display that was, imagine yourself as a pastor. It was like a cardboard cutout wearing a robe and a stole, and I took a picture behind it and didn't even really think about it until years later when I was being ordained, and I was the one wearing the robe and the stole. It really is a neat event in terms of learning about some of the social justice issues that are most important to us as people of faith. It's a great way to see what the church is beyond just the walls of where we are here in any one congregation. It really can be a life-changing event, and I know so many kids who've come back from it, myself included, just come back on fire for Jesus, and so excited about the ways that their faith is relevant in the world. So the next youth gathering is July 24th through 28th in 2022. It was actually supposed to have been this summer, but it got pushed back in order to try to do so safely after COVID. It's going to take place in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and registration is going to be starting here in the very near future. So we're actually going to be having a meeting here at the church at the end of the month for families who are interested to be able to ask more questions, to be able to let us know whether or not you're interested. And from there, we'll spend the time leading up to it getting ready. The youth gathering has a lot of materials that they put out that are designed to sort of do Bible study ahead of time, to help build the group and get them ready for some of the things that they're going to hear. There's also a bit of a fundraising component involved. Between travel and event registration, it is a pretty pricey piece, but we're committed to making sure that all of the youth that are going are supported in that. So we'll be doing plenty of fundraising to make it happen. If your family is able to contribute to the cost, that's great. If not, we'll still make it happen if you're interested in going. So again, we're having a meeting to talk about those things at the end of September. Looking to have an idea. There's probably at least about a dozen who are in the right age group, and that's kids who are in 8th grade through 12th grade this fall, 2021. So we have the potential to have a really great group to go along with that. We'll certainly need some chaperones, and that can be parents or other members of the congregation. Depending on how many kids we have, that'll depend how many chaperones we need. But really, again, I urge you to check out information on the internet about it. Ask me in these next couple weeks if you have questions, and certainly very interested in talking and sharing with anyone about my experiences. I'd love to be able to put a group together here at Mount Calvary.